Absolutely.
Absolutely, yes, I love it. I love the positivity here on the stage. I have so many questions for you ladies, but Jim, let's start with you.
Well, I'm just a cheeseburger in paradise. So I'm up here with royalty, so I'm having a heck of a good time. Well, I think we all are. Yeah, right? All right.
So Jim, I mean, it's right there on your person. Winnie the Pooh. Tell us about that iconic role and how you have developed and created the character over the years.
Not with all this. So, geez, I don't know. It's the stuff that used to get me kicked out of class. And a long time ago, I found out a way to monetize it, and now I get to hang out with them.
What was your entry point into voiceover, and how did you sort of discover that you had this talent? Because it is a true talent.
Well, geez, I was 5 years old, and I was watching the Jack Benny program, and Mel Blanc was on there. And he was going through this bit with, and he was Mel Blanc, so yeah, you're not clap for him. And my dad says, you see this guy right here? And I said, yeah. He's the guy that does all those Tasmanias and the Daffy Duck and the Bugs Bunny and this and that Sylvester. And I went, wow, he doesn't have to stand in the corner, does he? And I thought, I'm going to do that. And so I did.
And did you workshop voices, or what was your initial process?
No,
I
was just really annoying. No, I didn't even know it. We'd be sitting there playing Monopoly, and I was 10 or 12, and I go, I believe I will buy Park Place. I'll run over there to Baldwin Avenue, something. And I just, I successfully waited long enough to grow up and monetize it, basically, And I made my first demo tape, and the first job I ever had was Dumbo's Circus. It's not on anymore. It hadn't been on a long time. And it was for a brand new thing called cable TV. Yes, and apparently Disney had one. It was a Disney Channel. And so I snuck in on the very first show, and it was great because I think we did like 65 episodes, and that kind of kept me alive during the week. I was making like $400 a week more working 8 hours than I was 50 at the Video Depot. So I said, I think I'll do this.
I love it. Well, that is the life goal, is when you can do something you love for a living and monetize it. So thank you, Jim, for bringing us so many fabulous voices.
Thank you.
And now you five, I mean, such iconic roles. It's really unbelievable. Thank you all for being here together. First of all, we're all pretty excited, right? What is it like when you hear you're going to play a character such as this, and you have to take on that responsibility, that sort of, that history and everything? It's a lot, right? How do you go about approaching the character?
Yeah, my dream was always to be on Broadway. Like that was my dream, but it's kind of a wonderful thing. And so many of us are from that world. But then you realize that performance is gone, by 10:30 at night, 11:15 if you're late. And so it's this ethereal thing, because when we started there was no interweb yet, like there were no illegal videos yet being posted. But to be part of an animated feature is to be part of something that is new again every 5 years to another generation. Like, it's to be part of something timeless. Mm-hmm. And I think that's where my heart just leapt, because nobody knew the character yet, so it's carte blanche. Mm-hmm. But I am really grateful that Disney often goes to this little pool of Broadway actors, and I like to say that animation supported my theater habit.
I love that. Jodi, what was your initial process when you approached the role that we shall not talk about?
Yes. The role that we shall not talk about. First of all, we're super tight people with all of you. This is awesome. We're never together, ever. So, we're here all of you, but actually, selfishly, we're here for all of us that we get to meet and have a glass of wine and talk. Anyways, yeah, the character that we shall not mention. I did not know what I was doing. I came from a Broadway background, like Susan said, and I've never been behind a microphone before, but it was Howard Ashman. Howard, in his brilliance, yes, Howard, that taught me how to stand behind a mic and how to delve into a character. You're given a little pencil sketch, and inch by inch, a little square, and try to develop this character to make her real, authentic, vulnerable, so that you fall in love with her at the beginning of the movie and you root for her all the way till the end. So it's all Howard. Everything that you love about my character is because of Howard Ashman, Alan Larkin, and yeah, and so, you know, I get to sing this Dream I Want song that is so iconic every single week, not during our strike right now, but I truly am never tired of singing it. And it's a trigger core memory, so that when I sing, I immediately think of myself in the booth with Howard standing to my left. Howard stayed in the recording studio with me for 2 weeks, and I don't think he ever would breathe, because you couldn't hear him. He was silent inside. It's very unusual to have somebody in the booth with you. Yeah, just absolute brilliance. So developing a character when you have a director, although he was our executive producer, Ron and John were our directors, but Howard graciously just stepped in, and Ron and John let him go because we had just done a show for 4 years together, and we had a good working relationship. Very blessed that I'm, you know, one of the people that get to work with him not once, but twice on 2 incredible, memorable moments. So very grateful.
And yes, and you mentioned how unusual that is to actually have someone physically in the recording space with you. And what was his MO? Did he sort of want to guide you in any particular direction, or what was his purpose for wanting to be in there physically with you?
He was there as my encourager and my rooter. He was my cheerleader. I was dealing with a lot of anxiety. I was dealing with the fact that I didn't know what I was doing, and I think that's what I said pretty much all the time. I don't know what I'm doing. I can't do this. Why did you cast me? And basically, he was just like, you know what? You got this. This is good. You can do this. But I could do it because he was standing next to me. You know. So yeah, he's, you know, when you have a cheerleader like that in your life, he really can do anything.
Yes, amazing. We should all have a Howard in our lives. We should. Paige, your character in particular had such a history, a deep history, and such love. And I'm curious, were you apprehensive at all about approaching the character and playing her because of that?
The hardest part was that she was so much like me, it was almost intimidating, because it's hard to be that vulnerable and allow yourself to come through. I always liked hiding behind characters like Edwin Drood or, you know, Fontaine or whatever. But it was different. I know the first day I went in, they said, "Ethel Merman, what are you doing?" This is, you know, we don't want you playing to the balcony, you know, it's okay. So having to learn to make it real. But you know, honestly, when it came together for me, it was a month later. We didn't have a beast for the first month. And Benson was cast, and I talked them into letting us record together. And it cost them more money and blah blah blah. But you know, ultimately, it worked so well that they started to do it again for your movie, right? With you and Robin, yes. And I think we should also point out that none of these films would have happened if it weren't for Howard Ashman and Alan Menken. They begged the company to bring back animation, because that company's animation was dead. It was gone. Nobody thought it would ever work again. And they believed in it so much, and actually put some of their own money into the film.